And I'm back with more Spirit of Justice. We've proven that the wedding reception was held twice. And we need to figure out why and how. So, let's keep investigating. What? So the whole time traveling thing was just a ruse put on the guest at the reception? Looks like it. I knew there would be some kind of trick to it. Wow, 2 wedding receptions. Can you imagine? Wonder how much that cost them. I have no idea. But if you have to ask, you're not rich enough to want to know. Still, if you got money, it's a pretty good way to cover things up, if you ask me. You got that right. I'm sure I would be completely fooled. Hi, I'm back! Hey, Maya. You all set to go? Yep. Ready when you are. So what should we start with? Let's start with reviewing what we know so far. What Ellen thought was time travel is really just a performance brought on by the Sprockets. And other than that, it seems that what Ellen told us was actually all true. So what really matters right now is the identity of that mystery person Ellen said she saw while she was being attacked. So who is this mystery person? It's a $1 million question, I'm afraid. If we want to clear Ellen of any suspicion, we need to figure out... Then figuring that out's the key. I think I'll take toilets for 200 instead, Mr. Wright. Well, there were only so many people there already on the airship that night. And we know who the mastermind of the whole cover-up is, so that's good. You mean the groom Soren Sprocket, right? Exactly. He might know something that could help us out. So, then what am I doing here? I'm a very busy man, you know. Well, of all the other people involved, they're Soren's family members, so I thought I'd better start by interviewing you. Even if I probably shouldn't trust a word that comes out of your mouth. Oh, man. I have a really tight schedule, but heck, what are friends for? Okay, pal. Go ahead, ask me anything. You do remember it was you who came to me and help in the first place, right? I want to go over exactly what happened when, before I step out of the office again. Since you were there, Larry, do you think you could help me keep this all straight in my head? If I gotta. Okay, so the first reception was held at 7 p.m. on the day of the incident. That's the one you tried to crash, right? Oh, yeah, that's right. Then they locked me up in a cabin, and it was awful, I tell you! Too bad we're not in here to focus on you, Larry. And the incident occurred after the first reception around 10 p.m. Ellen was attacked in the reception hall by Gloomsbury. He forced her out on the Vista deck when he was about to kill her. But Ellie fought back and ended up killing old Gloomsbury instead. To cover it up, the family quickly threw together the second reception. At least that's what Edgy claims. But I know my Ellie wouldn't do it. Key point here is the mystery person Ellen said she saw strike Gloomsbury just before she passed out. Did you see anybody suspicious skulking around that day? Nope, not a soul, because I got locked up in a cabin. But you managed to escape and sneak back into the reception hall. So when you switched the lantern in the event hall with the lantern in the hole. Did you see anybody then? No, the place was completely deserted. I guess because that Pierce Butler guy had everybody gathered up somewhere. Makes sense. Must have been going over the cover-up plan. So clearly the murder had already happened by the time he got out. He must have gotten everybody fast and had the second reception soon after that. Then after the second reception, Ellie went up to clean up the reception hall. And as luck would have it, that's when she found the body and the lantern I'd brought up. I tried to do something nice for Ellie out of the goodness of my heart, and this happened! Well, we still don't know exactly what happened during the actual murder itself. We'll just have to look into that along with the identity of the mystery person. So while the murder was taking place, you got locked in a cabin? Did you see anything unusual while you were in there? In the cabin? Let's see. Well, there was that pterodactyl flying through the sky. That's pretty unusual. Alright, that drawing of the pterodactyl. What's with that? What's with the air quotes? I really did see it. But Larry, the time travel thing never actually happened. Which means you couldn't have seen a real pterodactyl flying through the sky. Is that one of the paper airplanes Soren had, maybe? Are you doubting the eye of a super popular picture book author? No, I'm just sure you saw something else and mistook it for a flying reptile. Heck, you're making me doubt my own eyes now! I'm not sure what I saw! Either way, you have no idea what actually happened during the real scene of the murder? That's right, and I can say that with every confidence. Oh well, would you look at the time? I'd better go. I have a book signing to go to. A book signing? Whose book? Whose do you think? It's mine, of course. A Larice Dunham book signing. I bet you went around and begged a bunch of bookstores to let you do one. Of course not! They're the ones coming around to beg me! Looks like I guessed right. Anyway, I have to go. I'll send you 10 copies of my new book that just got released. 10? That's very generous of you. What are you talking about? I'm gonna send you the bill. Just put them down as office expenses or something. Wait, Larry, we don't... I'll take a copy, boss. Oh, and make sure it's signed. Oh boy. Trucy's not gonna like this office expense. There goes our first lead. What do you want to tackle first, Nick? We should really hit the streets now, huh? How about we go see Ellen? Sounds good, boss. I bet I could cheer her up. I thought you were gonna help Trucy with her magic show. Weren't you supposed to go meet her right about now? Trucy said she was gonna practice her new trick on you. On me? Really? Trucy shows as an important source of income for her agency, you know. You can leave the case to us and go ahead. But boss! Off you go. Oh, I don't want to die! Better get going too, Maya. Okay. They're trying to find every excuse to not have Athena do anything. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, she's not in a good place. Oh, my poor sweet Soren. I wonder if he's gotten along without me. Hello, Ellen. Oh, what's going to happen to the trial, do you think? Well, first and foremost, we have to hurry up and find this mystery person you saw just before you passed out. Do you think that person could be the real killer? It's quite possible, and if we can prove that, we can clear you of all charges. So would you happen to know where Soren is right now? He's usually busy in meetings all afternoon, so he should be home by evening. I think I better have a chat with him. Could you not... Why am I being treated to a view of someone's underwear? Mr. Wright, don't tell me. You suspect my sweet Soren? Well, he's the one who masterminded the whole second reception. So I thought he might be able to tell us something. How could you, Mr. Wright? You can't possibly think my Soren would ever kill anyone. All right, Eric. No, if you're accusing my Soren, please. I'm not accusing anybody. Please just put the pan and ladle down. Really? Cross my heart. For now, would you mind if I ask you a few more things about the case? Better be careful not to provoke her. Could you tell me about Soren? There's nothing to tell. He's squeaky clean. Alright, okay. Maybe I should avoid that topic. Let's talk about something else. Fine, but you won't hear a peep out of me about Soren. Talk about pulling teeth. Could you tell me about Pierce Nicody, then? Pierce. He came to Sprocket Manor about a year ago. As the family butler, and he's now in charge of everything in the household. Only a year ago? Did he have some kind of special connection with the family? I'm just a maid, so I'm not privy to such things, I'm afraid. It might have been Soren's order, but Pierce is the one who coordinated the whole thing. He's the one who really orchestrated the grand time travel farce. Must have quite a bit of authority in the family. But no matter how good he is at his job, how could anybody gain that much influence in a single year? I don't really know. I mean, he is an excellent butler. Wouldn't that explain it? You mean he's one hell of a butler? I had to do it. Is it really as simple? Well, what you thought was time travel is really a cover-up carried on by your in-laws. Pierce said Soren was the one who ordered the whole thing. I still can't believe it. Even if the second reception was fake. Soren would never use time travel for something like that. He's very serious about his time machine research, you know. Heard there's a reason he's researching time machines, actually. Something about something he wishes he could change? But isn't the whole idea of traveling back in time itself a little fantastic? I don't think so. After all, Soren said real time travelers do exist. Really now? You think he knows someone who actually traveled through time? That's right. Haven't seen it personally, but Soren said as much. So I believe it. Somebody actually traveled through time, huh? It's pretty hard to believe. Thank you. You're going out to do your investigation now, aren't you? That's right. Please make sure you don't cause Soren any trouble, okay? I'm afraid I can't promise you that. Ah! What? Please, whatever you do, please don't upset my poor Soren any further. I'm begging you. I'll do my best not to cause him unnecessary trouble. I can't bear it if Soren came under suspicion. I'd rather be found guilty myself. Jeez. Ellen, please, don't work yourself up. Don't want Soren to worry, do you? No, you're right. And the floodwaters recede once more. So what do we do now, Nick? Wait, well, Ellen said Soren is usually in meetings until the evening, so let's just save our house call until then. Why don't we go to the mooring dock and figure out our next move? Roger, Nick! Mooring dock. Into the hold. Let's go. So where do we start? Let's see, are there any places we haven't examined yet? We've already investigated the reception hall in Sprocket Manor. I know! We haven't looked at the Vista deck or the hold yet. Hey, you're right! We've still got some pretty important places left, right? The Vista deck's the actual scene of the murder, right? And the lantern with the body in it was stored in the hold. There's a good chance we'll find some important clues. Do we know how to get into it? Good question. I think it was labeled in the diagram of the airship in the pamphlet. There it is! Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go! So this is the hold. This is where Pierce orchestrated the whole cover-up operation. Better go over this place with a fine-tooth comb. Hey, Nick! Weren't we supposed to need a keycard to get in here? Huh. You're right, I wonder why it was unlocked. How's it going, Mr. Wright? Oh, Emma, what are you doing here? Just a little independent investigating, for my own sake. Gotta keep the mind sharp. so the door security system was turned off for police investigation. We'd like to investigate the hold ourselves. Would that be okay? Sure. Police just finished their examination anyway. Thanks. Let's take a quick look around now. Oh, right. You should know that the floor doubles as a huge lift. You can use that lever way back there to raise it up to the Vista deck. The police inspected it already, but didn't find anything of particular interest, it seems. If you do appear to the Vista deck, be careful not to fall off. Got it, thanks. That goes double for you, Maya. Yes, ma'am! Well, let's go. Let's get the show on the road. Any progress with your investigation? Nothing conclusive yet, I'm afraid. Almost everybody was involved with the cover-up, so it's hard to know who or what to believe. I know what you mean. Unless you have some compelling evidence, I'm afraid it's going to be a tough trial for you. You're telling me. There isn't much time left, so I've just got to make do and see what I can turn up. Oops. Yeah, I think, yep, just examine. Examine flowers. These are the flowers that we saw in Larry's photo. Petals make them look like little gears. Perfect flowers for the Sprocket family. Sprocket family, huh? Maybe they were gonna shower the couple with petals? I mean, kind of like how couples, like people throw rice or confetti? Yeah, kind of like that. Only those were found at the scene of a murder instead. Dishes next to the flowers. These must be dishes and glasses they use for receptions. Very fancy. Bet we'd be in big trouble if we broke any of them. Ooh, I want to see Nick. You, young lady, need to stay far, far away from them. Nick! You think I'm gonna break him, don't you? Let's just say your rap sheet for breaking things does not help your case. Let's see, bells next to the Pega cow. What's that? A wedding bell? According to the pamphlet, it's used on the Vista deck during wedding ceremonies to bless the newlyweds. Guess they disassemble and store it away here in the hold when it's not being used. And Pega cows. Yeah, Pega cows. Moo! So there are two male Pega bull lanterns in the reception hall. That must mean these two are the female Pega cow lanterns. Larry got their sexes mixed up when he replaced one in the reception hall, huh? Didn't he see the horns? The difference is pretty glaring if you ask me. Yet he managed not to notice. That's what makes Larry Larry. And Larry being Larry is why I've seen my fair share of trouble. Oh, Mr. Wright. You know that lantern the victim was found inside the reception hall? Just about to go piece it back together so the police can examine it. Oh, okay. We'll stop by for a look too once you're done. Weird slowback. Model airplane. Oh, look, Nick! It's an airplane! I wonder if Soren built that one too. Why don't we take it for a spin? Just a quick tour around the neighborhood. And who do you propose is going to pilot the whole wooden death trap? Me, of course! Who else? Don't worry, I've seen people fly airplanes on TV plenty of times. I think I'll pass. I've still got my whole life ahead of me. He sure does, he's got like 40, 50 years left. Candle on the table in back. Huh? Looks like there are some fingerprints on this candelabra. Yeah, I just got done dusting that. I was able to pull out a set of left-hand prints. Do you know whose prints they are? Yes. The prints belong to the victim, Dumas Gloomsbury. Nick, I just figured something out something amazing. Get this. If the fingerprints on the candelabra were from his left hand, then Mr. Doom and Gloomsbury must have been left-handed. What do you think of that? Do I have the makings of a great detective or what? You're a silly Sally if you thought that deduction was in any way encyclopedic. Hey, you're pretty good, Maya. I looked into it myself, and sure enough, the victim really was left-handed. Really? I got it right? Awesome! Good for you, Maya. Good for you? That's all you gotta say? I think you did a really good job. Way to go! I guess one could never have too much fun. Or have too much info. Now you're talking! But come to think of it, this candelabra isn't in the photo that Larry took in the hole. That picture was taken when they were getting ready for the first reception, right? Candelabra must have been brought in here sometime after that. It's still possible it has something to do with the incident, though. Better add it to the evidence file, just in case. Oh, by the way, Mr. Wright, you can have this fingerprint powder if you like. You're giving this to us? Sure! I have 4 other sets. Thanks. I feel like there's something more to this candelabra, but I can't put my finger on it. I get to examine a cake, yay! Examine a cake, yay! Oh look, it's a cake, Nick! It's so big, they wouldn't miss that one little piece, would they? If you're that in the mood for a mouthful of styrofoam, sure, knock yourself out. You mean it's not real? It sure fooled me. I'm so ready to have some of that. I was craving cake now. Come on, Nick. Let's go get some. Maybe after the trial. Styrofoam cake. The taste of cancer. Oof, why did I go there? I'm sorry. That was pretty bad. I am so sorry. Okay, engine to the right. The things I think are funny just come out of my mouth and they're not funny. Oof. I could have dialed it down to something different. Food poisoning. A little less brutal. Anyway, so this is the airship engine. It's pretty impressive. It's all rhythmic like a heartbeat. It's like the literal heart of the flying chapel. Look at all those huge gears spinning around and around and around and around and around. Oh! It's starting to get dizzy. Yeah, me too. Alright, lever. Oh, look! There's the lever for the lift that Emma told us about. Let's try going up on it. I'll flip the switch. Here goes nothing. I'm not even on it yet. Hey, Maya, stop the lift! Sorry. Got a little carried away. Never mind that. Move over a little. Okay. Is it blood? Oh, blood. Let me see. Could it be Mr. Gloomsbury's blood? Well, this lift goes up to the Vista deck where the murder took place, so I think that's the most logical conclusion. But I thought the victim was clubbed to death and there wasn't very much blood. Something tells me I better take a picture. I should ask Emma about it some time later. Maya, can you bring the lift back down now? You got it, I'll flip the switch. There! Oh, there's still so much left. Oh boy. Okay. Alright, so lift bloodstain. Okay. I want to find out some more about the bloodstain. But for now, I guess we should go up to the Vista deck. Take a look around at the actual crime scene. View must be great from up there. I bet it'd be awesome. You mean, it would be if it wasn't the scene of a murder. Okay, to the Vista deck we go. Make sure you actually get on the lift this time, Nick. I know, I know. Okay, I'll flip the switch and away we go! Wow, look at the gorgeous view! So this is where Ellen was attacked and Mr. Bloomsbury was killed. One wrong step and it's cursed splat on the ground. Should we go investigate the stuff that's a little closer to the edge? Well, I don't see much of anything over there. The police investigation didn't turn up anything close in clues, so maybe we don't need to? Oh, I get it. You're scared, aren't you, Nick? Of course not. Come on, let's go back down and finish checking out the hole. Emma, about this bloodstain. Doesn't strike you as odd? What's so odd about the victim's blood? It's not exactly... There's just something about it that bothers me. Now that you mention it, I can't say I necessarily disagree with you. Maybe I should talk about this more with her. Can we check out the candelabra a little bit more? A little more? What do you... Oh! What happened? I almost dropped the candelabra and the candle slipped off. Well, let's be careful with that. Might be important evidence. Wait a minute. Now what? One of the pins that holds the candles is broken. What? There's definitely something fishy about this candelabra. There is? What makes you say that? Call it forensic investigators' intuition. We already dusted this for prints earlier, so let's test it with luminol this time. Knowing Emma, she'd use every test she has at the same time if she could. Just hang on, this will only take a second. Hope this turns out to be a new lead somehow. Well, did you find anything? Take a look at this, Mr. Wright. What is all that blood doing on there? Ooh. Maybe somebody got hurt while they were setting up for the reception? These pins are pretty sharp. But if one of the pins is broken, it means there was some force involved. Do you think somebody got stabbed? But nobody reported anything like that. It's quite a bit of blood. I wonder whose it is. If I have anything that might shed some light on that, I'd probably show it to Emma. Alright, bloodstain. About this bloodstain. What about it? There's something about it that's bothering me. Oh yeah? What's that? Well, there's this huge bloodstain on the crime scene and a bloodstained candelabra. This is only a guess, but I'm thinking these are coming from the same source. I'm thinking they might... I guess that's a possibility. Can we compare the two bloodstains? To take a lot of time? Are you kidding? Don't underestimate the power of science. It'll be done in a jiffy. And the results are in. That didn't take long now, did it? Huh. It seems that the blood from the lift and candelabra are from the same person. Ooh. Well, the victim was clubbed to death and there wasn't all that much blood. But if this isn't Mr. Gloomsbury's blood... Well, this is just a guess, but what if Mr. Gloomsbury stabbed somebody with a candelabra pin? That would explain both the huge blood stain on the lift and the blood on the candelabra. My goodness! If that's true, then that means there was somebody else present at the scene of the murder. It does, doesn't it? This might just substantiate Ellen's statement about a third person. Emma, could you have this blood analyzed? Sure thing! A mysterious blood stain on the candelabra with the victim's prints on it. This just might be the thing to back up Ellen's memory of seeing a third person. Next up, the reception hall. Might be worth taking another look. The reception hall? Well, the forensics team is in there right now. Oh, they are? Well, we don't have time to sit around, so let's just go check something else. Good idea. We could go question some people. Especially Soren. Got quite a few questions for that guy. Sounds good, Nick! Off to do some legwork then? Yup. Thought we'd head to Soren's house for starters. He was accompanying the police in the investigation earlier, but he's probably home by now. Great, thanks. Later. Alright, later it is then. So I'm gonna try and do the next bit in one more episode, but I'll call this for today and get to some Berseria. So I'll record this on a different day. So, see you guys next time.